So back in May, we were invited to attend Dr. Rady's Addiction Symposium, where we met Dr. Bessel and Vanderkolk talked about some key issues related to trauma and addiction. And I want to take a look at why those issues are so critical to address and how we treat them at Treehouse Recovery.
And so if self-love and self-compassion can be at the core, if you love yourself, you take good care of your body, and you exercise, and you eat the right food. What we're struggling with is top-down, let me shove right food into you and right exercise, or do you, from the inside, I'd better take care of this little creature who's me.
Every single person that walks through our doors comes in with a huge bag of all of the terrible things that they feel about themselves and think about themselves in a way to where it's really hard to expect them to have a desire to want to get well. We start to judge ourselves based on the things that we've done or the things that have happened to us, and that becomes our identity. And so at Treehouse, our objective is to strip that back to the basic miracle that is a person, to show that to a client and say, look, this is you. You're a perfect miracle. Like, let's start there. Let's forget about everything you've done and let's build off of that.
Eating healthy and like exercising was always there, but I didn't have the other tools to love myself mentally. So that was one of the biggest problems. Like, I didn't have that tool. I didn't have the know-how to do that or to actually work through that. So I was exercising and eating right, but I was also putting poison in my body. So now I'm able to forgive myself because I know that wasn't me.
And so, to my mind, it is at least as important to really go to deal with the trauma, actually. And so that's not easy to do, but I think finding words for what happened to you is very important. And so I think what drives addictions is that the feelings from the past are so painful that you don't want to go there. And so the job of therapy is to make it tolerable to go and access and see what happened to you in the past. And once you really can contemplate what happened to you back then, you can start beginning to approach yourself with compassion.
Yeah, if you're happy, cool. That's a good one to show, but like being sad, you don't show being sad. And for men, period, to open up, it's really hard. Like, when you get vulnerable and you feel that vulnerability is being played with or not taken seriously, it automatically turns you to shut off, for sure. My writing therapist always kept it real. There was no keeping things soft or treating me as a fragile individual. So that's important. It was really important, especially for me to open up. When most people think about trauma, they think of like, they'll think of PTSD, a soldier in war, but trauma affects everyone in different ways. I had traumas that I didn't think were traumas that I wrote about, and it affected me way deeper than I had ever thought it did. Yeah. And actually working through it gave me a sense of relief, and it opened up a window to see why I do the things that I do. And it was because of a specific situation or an event that I had happened to me. So with writing therapy, you're bouncing off of somebody with unbiased, completely objective point of view, and just getting the raw details of what actually happened and removing my emotional feelings towards the situation and actually getting some clarity. Like, that was the relief.
I think emotions probably drive addiction more than anything else. And a person's inability to deal with negative emotions is a huge cause for addiction in general.
to my mind, the limbic system drives all these behaviors. And you cannot get there by thinking, understanding, figuring things out. And so you need to quiet the system down. Certainly you can quiet it down with exercise and movement. But what happens if you stop being able to move?
There's no question that at any point in a person's life, they're going to get hurt or they're not going to be able to exercise. And so they have to have several different ways to do this. And at Treehouse, we focus on using things like breath work, touch, team play, and exercise as well as ways to calm down the limbic system and to give these guys a better sense of emotional regulation.
The best predictor of healthy adult outcome for boys is team sports.
Action-based induction therapy is designed to help clients or to create scenarios that allow clients to experience different types of emotions through carefully coordinated teamwork exercises and activities that induce different types of emotional states. And then we take those situations and with a therapist on the beach, we actually teach them how to walk through those things in a way that's healthy and constructive rather than maladaptive.
It's like, that's what camaraderie is. Like that's what it's about, and like for me, that's what I learned, is that going through something tough, annoying, something that makes you angry, whatever it is, with someone makes it a million times better. It makes it good, even if it's bad, so getting drilled on the beach, when you're holding the boat over your head and your shoulders are burning and you just want to quit, and that guy next to you, you can just see it on his face, but you guys keep holding it, and then you guys start laughing.
Touch. Touch is a very powerful thing. And if you get touched in the right way, you can calm your body down.
Before we can understand language, the best way we communicate with each other is through physical touch.
The hugging thing, yeah, I think we definitely have a hugging culture. It's really good for our guys, especially the ones that have a ton of shame and trauma in their past, to have somebody who they view as healthy, maybe a role model, is able to stop, give them a second, grab them in a big bear hug, and try to, subliminally, subconsciously, like transfer, like, I believe in you. I'm here for you. I care about you. I want you to succeed and win. In just a non-confrontational, like, I want you to change. Just like, I got you. You're here, and I'll take everything you're going to give me.
It's not like, oh, you're weird because you're hugging people. It's like, no, like, he's happy. Why is he happy? I want happiness too.
Things like meditation, for example, is that once you sit still, the crap of your past tends to come up, and meditation tends to be very artful, very difficult for traumatized people, because the trauma is not out there, it's sitting right beside of yourself, and once it comes out, you tend to become very disturbed.
We approach yoga as a practical tool. As they're moving and breathing at the same time, that they're sparking their vagus nerve by, initiating that response from the vagus nerve, that people develop a way of mastering their thoughts and their emotions because they're creating self-regulation. But also the stuff that we're teaching in there is around having agency, having choice, because that's oftentimes what's been taken away from people.
My thoughts about yoga coming in were that it's like for girls. It's like stretching for girls. And when we first started doing it, I was like incapable of sitting with my own thoughts. So I would like I'd like sit there and go crazy. Basically, just too many thoughts in my own head. But I learned to work through those thoughts and do something positive with them. Yoga's cool though. I like it. Breathing techniques is something I still use.
The nature of trauma is about physical immobility. It's about your primitive brain saying, oh shit, this is it, I'm helpless. So if you have a body that is accustomed to being able to take action, as the military knows so well, that you become much less prone to get traumatized once you have a body that really works.
In early recovery, one of the biggest issues that the men that we treat deal with is external stressors. And so one of our objectives at Treehouse is to help fortify the men that we treat against these external stressors. And the way that we do that is we have a therapy here called ESM. And what ESM does is it uses exercise, a 90-minute CrossFit style workout that happens every day, as a tool to create more GABA in the hippocampus of the brain. And this GABA basically acts as a shield or a force field against external stressors for the person that we're treating. So what does that look like? That looks like more GABA in the brain means that when a client goes out into the real world and he experiences an adverse event, he's less likely to react. He's less likely to have a sympathetic response that's going to charge him up when he has more GABA in his brain. GABA puts the brakes on the sympathetic nervous system.
Basically, we got trapped in drugs and talking as the only ways out. These are complex things, and I'm always very worried about people coming up with one answer. Yeah, because it's so multimodal.
So one of the problems is that most treatment only tries to address the psychology of addiction, and talk therapy is not enough. Addiction is a very complex condition, and the treatment to address addiction needs to be as sophisticated as the people that we're trying to treat. And so that's why Treehouse Recovery has developed a true Bio Psych Social approach.